How's it going, guys? My name is Alex, and if you're a teenager like me who has no idea what you want to do in life, but wants to have a career that makes a lot of money in the future, you're in the right place. Because today I have prepared a list of 10 jobs that could potentially make you a millionaire. These are not in any particular order, and leave a comment if any of these interest you. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin. Number 1. Plastic surgeons and specialized doctors, with an average salary of $250,000 per year. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. There's so many more doctors out there that make much more than that. In fact, radiologists, cardiologists, orthopedic surgeons, and neurosurgeons all make on average $400,000 a year, which is obviously a lot more than what a plastic surgeon makes. So why did I mention plastic surgeons over all of the other professions? Well, that is because plastic surgeons is just a lot more lucrative as a career and just a lot more profitable compared to all the other professions I mentioned. I mean, unlike neurosurgeons and orthopedic surgeons who can only perform surgeries on people with conditions, plastic surgeries are everywhere. Just last year, over $16 billion was spent on adjustments, and that number is growing year after year, especially in this generation of social media. It is one of the easiest medical professions to get into, and once you're on a good reputation, you can bet that clients will keep on coming. Number 2. Corporate lawyer, with an average salary of $200,000 per year. If you're really good at what you do, you can be a millionaire in just 5 years in your corporate job. Just make sure that you are productive for all of the corporations that you work for. Now, out of all the specializations in this field, the 3 most lucrative ones are mergers and acquisitions, intellectual property, and patent lawyer. So, basically, you'll need to be a lawyer for a large financial or tech company. And the more value you bring to the company or save them from having to pay, the higher your salary will be. For example, if your company is involved in a big case, it is very possible for you to get over $1 million in a single payout if, let's say, you help them win the case. Number 3. Architect, with an average salary of $100,000 per year. However, a good architect could earn well over $250,000 every single year. Real estate is booming, and because of that, there will always be more and more opportunities for architects. Every city will need architects to design new homes that can efficiently house the growing population. Every city will need industrial buildings to develop more efficiently. If you could complete just one big project, you could easily be looking at a 7-figure paycheck. Number 4. Pilots and air traffic control, with an average salary of $100,000 per year. However, a good pilot with a good reputation can make far over $300,000 a year. Something that is very shocking is that on average, air traffic controllers make even more than pilots with an average salary of $130,000 per year. This is also one of the easiest high-paying fields to get into. Now, obviously this is also very stressful, since you'll be the one responsible for the safety of your passengers, but if you're someone who is looking to travel a lot in the future, this may just be the career for you. Number 5. Cybersecurity engineer, with an average salary of $250,000 per year. We are living in the most connected era in history, and everything about you is stored online. This may sound convenient, but this makes your personal information very prone to be stolen by hackers. Just last year alone, the personal data of over 140 million Americans was stolen from a credit card company called Equifax. Personal information such as addresses, banking information, and social security numbers were stolen. Big companies just could not recover if the information was stolen. This is why they are paying people good money to protect their information. A sophisticated hack could cost a company billions of dollars. Not only is cybersecurity important for big companies, it is also important for normal people like you and me. You probably put more information online than you are aware of. Let me give you a scenario that could be very relatable. Let's say you use a browser to save a password, which hopefully you realize that is not a very good idea, because your password actually gets saved into the browser's storage data, which makes it available for hackers to break into it. This is why it is very wise to invest into a great VPN, because VPNs are usually designed by cybersecurity engineers to prevent your online activities from being tracked by hackers. Number 6. Marketing managers, with an average salary of $150,000 per year. Everywhere you go, you see billboards that are advertising. We live in a time period with so much advertising that it is getting harder and harder for companies to stand out against the competition. This means that marketing managers can either make or break a company. This requires a lot of skills and creativity, which takes years and years to master. This is why companies are happy with paying marketing managers big money. Remember, the more value you bring to a company, the more money you will make. Now, marketing is not all about advertising. It is also about how a product is designed and how much value a product can bring to the consumers. On top of that, marketing managers also have to make sure that the product is better than its competitors. This is why marketing is so difficult, but it is these difficult skills that brings in money. Number 7. High-end sales. With an average salary of $200,000 per year. Let's get real here. In this modern generation, one of the most important skills in terms of making money is probably the ability to sell. If you can sell, you can pretty much find a high-paying job anywhere. But this is not what this is about. This is about those who are really good at what they do and decides to move forward to high-ticket items. I mean, why bother selling vehicles when you can be selling real estate property? Think about it. Let's say you work at a car dealership and you are selling cars for $60,000. When you sell a car, you may get a commission for, let's say, $1,000. This is definitely not a bad deal if you can consistently get a sale every single day you decide to work. Now, if you're a car salesman, you and I can both agree that that is very difficult. However, in real estate, you can buy a house for, let's say, $500,000. Go ahead and remodel it for $50,000. Then, a few months later, you can sell it for, let's say, $700,000 or rent it out and sell it for close to $1 million a few years later. This is definitely a long-term investment, but this is definitely worth it. And this is also one of the reasons why so many successful people in the world have very successful and impressive real estate portfolios. Number 8. Software developers. With an average salary of $150,000 a year. While the rise of the internet continues, it is very clear that there will be a gigantic demand for softwares. With that said, the demand of software developers will increase as well. There are just so many startups, and just about every startup will need some sort of application or website. This means that there will be more and more opportunities for software developers in the future. Number 9. Petroleum engineer. With an average salary of $200,000 per year. Oil is a resource we will always need, but the problem is, it doesn't just grow from trees. In order to get these resources, you will need to extract it from underground. This process can be both dangerous and costly. This is where petroleum engineers come in. Petroleum engineers come up with plans to drill in oil and gas fields. They also are in charge of figuring out new and more efficient ways to get all the valuable resources. More importantly, they also maintain these valuable resources. Oil and natural gas are both renewable energies, which means they cannot be reproduced and there is a limited amount of them in the universe. This is why petroleum engineers are so important and why they make so much money. Number 10. Investment banker. With an average salary of $200,000 per year. Knowing how to manage money is probably the most straightforward way to get rich, and there are just so many companies that could use this sort of service. Investment bankers help companies with their financial needs. This can get very difficult since you'll be dealing with big numbers. On top of that, you are also planning how much the company could spend on specific projects and maybe determining if it's worth it or not. Since you'll be helping the company save tons of money, the company will be happy to reward you nicely. So those are the top 10 jobs that can make you a millionaire. Keep in mind that these are just 10 examples and you can pretty much be a millionaire from doing just about anything as long as you're a master at what you do. Just make sure to keep your eyes open and ready to learn. Anyways, that's all I have now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys next time.